Hello everybody! This year, I am a brain in a box, and this is exactly how the previous From the Depths video that I made almost 2 years ago started up. And today, we're back. It's taken a long time, I will admit, and I do have an admission to make, which is everything that we built in the previous 3 From the Depths videos is gone. It's all gone. I reinstalled Windows, and I assumed, perhaps foolishly, that the saves would be stored on the cloud. They were not stored on the cloud, whether that be the game doesn't offer it or I just didn't do it. I don't know, to be entirely honest, but either way, they're gone, and I lost every ounce of motivation to build anything. However, that motivation returned, because a certain frog played this game, and those of you who don't know the video that I'm talking about probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm willing to bet most of you do. Anyway, I didn't record any of me building my first ship to come back because I really wanted to just do it as a passion project. That said, let's watch it build itself. Just a quick heads up, if you do want to download this thing, it is on the Steam Workshop. There'll be a link in the description below if you really like it, or if you really hate it and want to improve it for your own sake. It seems to have forgotten to put any turrets on. Is it going to do that? Maybe, if I just hold this? Okay. A somewhat surprisingly long time later, it's here. Here you go. I'm just giving it some resources right now so that we have something to actually go off when we move this thing about a little bit. But as you can see, we have built ourselves another destroyer. This is based on the Akazuki class destroyer that Japan built in World War II. And for that sense, it's kind of okay as a replica. You can probably already see there's a couple of things that are not particularly historical about it. Most importantly, the vertical launch missile system at the front of it. They didn't have that in World War II, believe it or not. However, these are concessions made for the purposes of being somewhat functional and From the Depths. Let me just clarify, I'm not very good at this game. I have a lot of hours in this game, but I just built unfunctional things that looked cool because that's kind of my thing, I guess. Not a lot of what I build is very good. But that said, hopefully this will be somewhat good when we take it into the campaign, which is something that I promised that I would do in our previous videos. But I'm going to go as far as to say that I'm going to do it this time, and I'm going to do it in this video. We're actually going to do it. So keep your breaths bated, because that's what's basically coming up next. But I just thought I would show you a couple of the stages in between. So this is the finished product as it stands right now. I'm thinking I might make another version, maybe 2. One which is probably going to lose a couple of the guns and just turn into a laser anti-missile system ship, which is just countermeasures for the most part. And also maybe a version which is a little bit cheaper. I don't know. This is quite expensive. It's 207,000 materials. But if I go here, we have the hull phase, which I think I've just suggested to build block by block, but sure. This is what it started out as. So this is the very first layer of blocks that I placed down just to get an idea of the shape of the hull. And you can see how it is still, you know, very much the same shape overall. And I just thought it was interesting to see this before anything was in it, because it's incredible how far the detail helps it come. Like, this little ledge here is 2 blocks high, but when you put it on here, it doesn't feel anywhere near as steep. Like, this feels ridiculously steep. This doesn't feel ridiculously steep. So even though it's the exact same blocks, just painted a different color, the rest of the stuff around it really helps it shape up. And I just thought it was kind of interesting. I also have, like, this version of it, which is a somewhat early functional version. So you can see I've got an anti-missile system, and I've got the same guns, but they're a little bit smaller. I brought these guns all the way to the bottom of the hull. These ones kind of have a 4 or 5 block gap underneath them. Obviously, these ones have armor underneath them, but nothing else. This was not very good when I put it into testing. I used solid shot AP, which seemed to be okay at first. I moved over to heat for this ship. They just do a lot better, and as you can see, no vertical launch missiles. this laser system was basically ineffective. It wasn't very good. I'm sure I could do a better job with the laser system. I'm sure other people know how to do it. I'm very, very new to laser systems, so you'll just have to bear with me if a couple of the lasers that I do build are a little bit subpar, but that's the ship as it stands. What I'll do is I'll show you a little bit of combat in this free editor, and then we'll bring it into the campaign after that. So let's just find something suitable to fight it up against. Okay, so there's our ship. We're just going to stay off it for now so that we're not providing any repairs to it. And over here, we're going to spawn in something. Let's go Onyx Watch. Let's say the Bardiche. That's a very similar amount of materials. Now, this could actually be a loss quite easily because those HE shells can definitely shear off a turret, but it seems that we've survived the first salvo, which tends to be the most dangerous with these Onyx Watchcraft. Once they start losing a couple of guns, they kind of become easier to deflect the shots. As you can see, we do have these 20 and 40 millimeter guns. They're acting as close-in weapon systems, so when we do get a shell coming in like that, we do have a chance to shoot it down. It's not all of the time, but it does happen every now and then. That's my exception for... I had to take off the laser munition system, so I put that on as kind of an extra little layer of defense, given that we were losing that one. I think we just took a pretty big hit. Hopefully... Oh, yep, no, I'm on the floor, aren't I? Can we get back to the battle? Hopefully, we've not lost a turret in that, because that is obviously the big concern. That was a very, very close hit. Could have caused quite a lot of damage there, but it looks like it wasn't able to pack all of the HE into that one. Otherwise, that could have done a hell of a lot more damage. We seem to be reducing the number of guns that are firing. There's not a lot of visual damage because we are using heat, and often that's the case with heat. Like, you do a lot. You can see here we're shredding the internals. Lots and lots of blocks are falling off, but you can't really tell from the outside, apart from when the missiles hit, because those are just frag. We have 92% of our ship left. That does sound a little bit, yeah, like a turret has gone. They're about 8% of the build normally, so something somewhere has got through my defenses, and that's definitely something I need to work on, is the armor profile of this thing. But the ultimate problem with it is that it is a very narrow ship, as we were going for like a realistic build. So without really knowing the best way to do internal armor, I've done the best approximation of what I think is correct, but as I'm sure you are aware, I'm not the best. So this has gone through the deck armor. I clearly just need to put a little bit more top armor there. And maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll swap that deck armor around the turret into metal just so that we got a little bit more there. It does sacrifice a little bit of looks, but not enough for me to really be concerned about. And we do still seem to be beating this guy as a general rule of thumb. I mean, this Bardiche is extremely cool looking. But I think we seem to be mostly good. We still have 3 of our turrets, and obviously the vertical launch missiles are still working. We seem to have blown up their ammo, or 1 or 2 of their ammo reserves, because we did get a couple of slowdowns here. They're swapping the side. This could be a problem, actually, because that side still has all of its functional guns. Ideally, we need to take those out if we can. But, you know, my AI also probably needs a little bit of work because it doesn't always prioritize the guns amazingly. Pretty big hit in midships. The AI is just about here, which seems to be pretty much unscathed, which is good to know. There's fire damage somewhere. I don't know when or where we set a fire on an entirely metal craft, but you know what? I'll go for it. And it seems that we're starting to take out a couple of the guns on this side. There is a pretty big hole right through the center of the Bardiche there. There's another little salvo. Clips the superstructure, but for the most part, we're all good. And this is taking a hell of a long time, but I believe it's all good news as far as my ship is concerned. Obviously, we lost that turret. That's not all good news, to be entirely honest. But for the most part, it's working. So I'm happy enough with this design because this is only really going to be our Deepwater Guard Onyx Watch kind of craft. Once we do get up to the Lightning Hoods or the Twin Guard, those kind of middle factions, we're probably going to want a cruiser of some variety, maybe even getting up to a battleship, or maybe once I'm there, maybe I'm confident enough to stretch my legs with some more futuristic designs, but typically I prefer building these World War II things, so probably not, to be entirely honest, which I'm sure is disappointing to some people, but, you know, if you've watched my channel for any period of time, you know what I do. I'm on the floor. We have won the battle, and the damage report is honestly not too bad. Apart from us losing the turret here, everything else is in a pretty good shape. They didn't get through here. They didn't get through in the midships. It is just this one here, which, yeah, definitely replacing this bit of deck armor with metal is the way to go there, I think. This turret was very nearly taken out, but as you can see, we've kind of got a little bit of heavy armor on this one and metal on the deck, because this turret kept blowing off. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that. There's a couple things that I actually have learned for the first time from that, and wow, how are you still on that? But mostly it was just superficial damage, so happy with that, and we'll head on into the campaign now, why not? Okay, we're here in the campaign. All we got to do is get rid of this. This is not going to be useful to us, and we're going to start by just basically waiting for the first council meeting, building probably a little spy balloon. I think I have one saved up. One little saved here. That will do, and we'll build that. That will be our spotting, and we'll build one of our destroyers. And yeah, I mean, that's all we got to do for the start, and I'll probably just meet you back when the council meeting begins, to be honest. Okay, so sit rep of where we are right now. It's 40 seconds until our next council meeting. I've done a couple of upgrades to my spy balloon. What I'll probably do in a video fairly soon is build a spy plane of some variety, where we don't have to resort to this cursed balloon solution, and we can actually get something that hopefully goes a little bit quicker than that and has a little bit of cargo space as well to be a little bit more useful. And then we've got kind of a little bit of fun. We are very, very close to this thing being built, basically done, but of course we're going to find out who we're going to be fighting, and I'm really hoping we have some good selections here, because I'd kind of like just the Onyx Watch or just the Deepwater Guard. Let's see. Okay, fantastic. The top option here, we can just go to war with just the Deepwater Guard, and that nets us 200,000 commodities, which is not too bad of an amount, to be entirely honest. I'm perfectly happy with that, so I think we're just going to confirm our allegiances there, continue on out. The Steel Striders are at war with the Grey Talons, which is interesting, but as far as we're concerned, it's just the Deepwater Guard we're fighting with. So we're going to send off our ship and try and conquer a little bit of land here. And fingers crossed, this shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, it wasn't really worth showing this fight. And here is my beautiful fortress, as you can tell. Very, very good. Very perfect. It's flawless in every single way. Don't criticize it. I gotta build a better one of these as well. This is the first fight where they can shoot back at us, and I'm imagining they might hit us with one or two things. That is not going well for that Atlas. He's getting shredded. Oh, poor guy. And then just this cannon tower next, basically. Don't think that Atlas is really worth shooting at anymore. Let's see if we can take out this here cannon tower. And I think that's just blown up from the inside there, so we'll go with yes. There's something inhumane about shooting these buildings, I can't lie. Maybe they'll send something with actual guns to fight us. Okay, here we go, a Paraba. I've never seen one of these before. 180,000 materials, so it's pretty significantly large. Is it going to be significantly capable of combating our destroyer? That's the question. And oh, wow, look at that. That thing looks really, really good. However, I do believe we've already hit its ammo reserves there, as we got a little bit of a slowdown. It's getting raked by our missiles, and I think it's a ramming vessel, but I hope that it doesn't get close enough. It's not looking good for them. That's a big old salvo of HE, but our front turrets have survived a direct hit from it, which is nice to see. That was a problem that we encountered when we were fighting that Onyx Watch vessel earlier. There's another one. It's hit the rear here, which has taken out... Looks like it's taken out the torpedo launcher, but... Well, that's not going to be much use versus an airship, is it? Not too bad. We did take 5% damage. That is kind of one of the problems, is because we have so much cosmetic stuff, it does get destroyed, and it does cost us materials to repair, even though it doesn't do anything for us. So that's a little bit of a drain on resources, but the ship did pretty darn well, and I'm happy with that. So, yep, hopefully there's more of that. I'm having a good time with this. Okay, before I could fully repair, we're very, very lightly damaged, but nothing significant. We've been attacked by a Steamworks. It's only 50,000 material, though. I don't think this is going to be much of a fight, to be entirely honest. Yeah, no, that's not looking good on their behalf there, is it? That's... yeah. I mean, heat shells are still pretty deadly against lightly armored enemies. AI dead. Yeah, and it's burning. Oh, poor Deepwater Guard. They're not putting up much of a fight at the moment. They are really sending a lot at us. Here's a swordfish. Once again, 50,000 materials. I don't think this one's going to be too much of a problem. It does. I've seen this one before. This one looks amazing. I really, really like it. Is that explosion us? It is. Wow. Okay. That's not good. Maybe I spoke too soon. The AI is dead on my ship. Okay. Where did that go through? Because that's really not good at all. Oh, underneath. Just clean through the core of the ship. Oh, my ammo reserves don't have any underfloor protection. That's pretty bad. That's really quite bad. A little bit of a redesign, perhaps. We don't really have time for the redesign just now. We're getting attacked by another one of these Parabas. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But after this fight, we're going to have to take this back to the drawing board and up-armor the underside a little bit, because that's seriously bad that they managed to do that with a craft with only 50,000 materials. That's a big flaw that I just didn't encounter during testing, which is, yeah, it is what it is. These things happen. Come on, we've beaten one of you before. Let's just cut to it being dead, I think. I was a little bit worried that my confidence would come back to bite me, but nope, we're all good. Yep. Right, to the designer we go. Okay, so we've added a second tiny little ammo reserve here. If this explodes, there shouldn't be too many consequences. It is pretty close to the missile system, but we should be okay. And then the central ammo reserve is slightly smaller, but there is now a layer of heavy armor underneath it, so something like what happened in that battle shouldn't happen again. We just got to retrofit the one that we have in the campaign with these little tiny upgrades. Nothing too significant. Okay, we're on the offensive now. We're moving towards their next base, but we've just encountered this tiny little craft, which I don't think this is going to put up much of a fight. 23,000. I mean, last time I said that. To be fair, they blew up our ammo reserves and we died. But we were saved, luckily, by their AI dying as well. This one... yeah, no, that doesn't seem to have done the same thing. It did have a damn good go. It's plucked a hole straight through the side there, but yeah, no, we're good. Falkenheim, 70,000 materials for this one. This is a little bit of a bigger fella. Oh, it's this one. This could be interesting. We'll see how we do against these little parasite craft, but we should be mostly okay. If they even work. There we go. They took a second to activate. Thank you for turning to night. Now I can't see. If I just give it the backdrop of the desert there, you can see a little bit better. Those things, I believe, carry just cram bombs. Oh, no, missiles. Okay. That's not too bad then. I was worried it'd be cram bombs because those are a little bit more dangerous to me. There goes the big airship. We're going to have to shoot at these little guys in a second. Find out what we can do. Oh, yep, that's pretty good. That's a good start. This one, he's been hit once. Seems to be okay, though. This is the kind of thing that I really want for my cargo plane, just a little bit bigger. These are so adorable, these tiny little planes. Our missiles are scrabbling to get them. There we go. And oh god, we're about to beach ourselves, aren't we? Come on. No, AI, stop. Stop. Hang on, let me pull it. There we go. It never happened. Never happened. And what's that? There's a grouper there. Maybe we spawn that in with the fishing hole. And yeah, we'll go 2 in 1. I think we should be okay. This is not a particularly strong base. Ooh, that said, those are 2 very big cram shells. And yeah, well, they did next to nothing, didn't they? That is the grouper over there. Oh, it's like a steam train in the air. That's... Oh, honestly, because I've not played this game much at all, seeing all these designs for the first time is fantastic. The creativity of the people who made these is insane. It's like I'm doing the Flyout Creations again, isn't it? Farewell, grouper. You were really, really cool, but unfortunately, you have to go... The fortress is gone. Don't know when it went, but it's gone. Oh. Uh-oh. I feel like that's spawned... yeah, okay, that spawned a thing there. We don't have a huge amount in the way of forces, because I have only got one of these at the moment. I don't know how I feel about going up against that entire fleet with just one of these things, so we'll try and spawn another one in, but as you can see, it's going to be a little bit tight. Right, I let it kill the spy balloon. There we go. We can just about grab it there. If we get it into combat, we can take it out. I don't want this thing terrorizing my forces much longer, so it's a long-range start to a fight, but it's got to happen. This thing could cause problems for our spy balloons, wherever it is. Need to set those missiles so they only fire within a certain range, really? That's definitely something to consider. Do you reckon he's regretting his choice to attack me right now? There we go. It's dead. Okay, and now that we got 2 of these things, I think it's only fair that we do what we should have always done, and we're going to give these some names. So we're going to go with PBS as our initial, kind of at the start of it. That just stands for Patch Bits Ship. I'm not entirely creative with that, but as so far as the names go, we're going to name them after a couple of super supporters. We'll probably go from longest subscribed down to, you know, least length subscribed. So we're going to start this one with PBS Stroke 3. That's the flagship, and this one is going to be PBS Terror. You two fight amongst yourselves why he gets the flagship. Right, they're sending a Jacob Scorn after us. Let's take that out. And then we got Sal's fleet that we need to deal with at some point. I believe they're building some kind of fortress to take back the Aerowick Outlook that we took over there. Oh no, this Jacob Scorn's running away. I'd like to catch up to it, and we have. There we go. I don't want him getting back to the main fleet, because then we can't fight him alone. We definitely want to take these guys out one by one if we can. Once again, really, really long range, and once again, these missiles aren't gonna hit. I really badly need to turn those off from firing at this kind of a range. They are never gonna hit, and they have a very, very high cost. Wait, hang on a second. I say they're never gonna hit. They did hit! Okay! I stand corrected. There we go. Right, whatever that was is dead. Too easy. Here we go. Come on, Captain Sal, don't back away now. What have we got? They've got a number of vehicles here. We've got a Felix Flieger B5, we have a Kalmar, we have the Prowler, and we have a Corsair. I'm a little bit nervous about this, but we've got to give it a good try here. They do have more blocks than us in total, but we might have some kind of an edge in terms of the variety of weapons that we have on board and also our defenses. We're immediately shooting at that. I believe that's the Felix Flieger, the aircraft there. That should go down fairly quickly. That's only 30,000 materials, and planes tend to be a little bit fragile in this, which it looks like that's the case. I think that's going to be dead. Doesn't look good for it. Doesn't look good for it at all. It's still going somehow. I'm surprised by that, to be entirely honest. It's got no wings, so it's kind of falling out of the sky, but it's still definitely got its gun. Never mind, there goes its gun. I just saw it fall out the bottom. Let's take out that thing there, whatever that is, and hopefully we're not getting hit too bad on board here. We're shooting down quite a lot of these cram shells, and that one bounced off our shield, which is good. We don't actually get that too often, and oh, there's so much going on. It's kind of hard to keep track of it all. I believe that's the Prowler there. That's Captain Sal's flagship, the best of my knowledge. And we've definitely done a number to it. It's lost its sails, but I am a little concerned that its cram cannons are still functional, though our close-in weapon systems are doing a pretty good job of shooting those down before they become a huge threat. That front turret is getting pummeled. I think the right barrel is damaged there. Can we just get that thing... Can we consider it dead? I think we can. It's probably... Well, I think one of the... Well, the missiles are already swapping over to the Kalmar here. That is... I love the Kalmar. This is a classic design. I remember this from back when I did play this game a little bit more. It is exploding quite badly, though, I will admit. What is this thing here? I think that needs to go. That's definitely still functioning. Both of those are already dead. Okay. And just this little thing left. Doesn't look too threatening, but I think this is the Corsair. It's still really cool. They're all really cool. I don't know why I'm saying it for every single one. It's like a broken record. But there you go, Sal. Have that. That is the successful demolition of Captain Sal's fleet and the building of our first two destroyers here. I think next video we'll probably build that kind of spy/radar, spy/merchant aircraft, which we mentioned. And we can definitely look towards taking a little bit more of the Deepwater Guard's territory. But that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please leave a like if you did. And don't forget to leave a comment of what you'd like to see me build. And also, subscribe. All of the good stuff. But, yep, that's everything. Farewell. And as always, a huge thank you to YouTube super supporters Yoki, Corvoid, Prince Casper 33, Flimsy Steve, Proto Series 1000, Eldoge, YT 3744, Marlon Gweck, Cruiser 25, Cody Fox, Peter Holmes, Peter Seifert, Camjam 135, Stug 3, and Terra. And a huge thank you to all the regular tier supporters as well.